Before we begin, I just want to do a quick introduction of our team. We're the multi-international team that kind of had our own room, and we came up with an idea. We have Lisa, Poom, Gino, Jason, Suze from Netherlands, Belgium, Thailand, Canada. When we were working on this project, we had difficulty trying to decide how we were going to communicate our problem statement and solution to an American audience. So we watched countless hours of American television and noticed a very distinctive pattern. So before we do the presentation, we're going to share what we learned is the most common form of media to present our problem and solution for the wider audience, and a way that feels familiar to the American audience. So let me
Pain Be Gone solves 3 layers of pain. Are you dealing with this when it comes to your orders? Are slow APIs slowing down the way you search for products? Pain Be Gone gives everyone access to all of PromoStandards. Hey, enterprises! Want to integrate with PromoStandards but are overwhelmed by the number of suppliers? Pain Be Gone makes it easy to search for, select, and use the ones you need and fast. And don't forget your customers. Submit a purchase order. Also fast. From mom and pop stores to massive corpos, Pain Be Gone has your back. Side effects may include diarrhea, abnormal dreams, hand-foot syndrome, bottom line, blue urine, midnight munchies, forgetfulness, unusual urges, Vegas baby Vegas, old age, aversion to medication and treatment, and science. Make PIP a thing of the past and plug and play your way to the features you need, fast. With Pain Be Gone. Adapters hold no responsibility for any adverse side effects. Copyright 2022, patent pending.
So that's our ad.
All right, no pressure.
It's a pharmaceutical ad, for the American TV, because that's all you can see on American television. And so at this point, I would like to hand it over to Poom and Lisa, and they'll do the slides.
All right, sounds good. Let me share the slides then. Lisa.
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about kind of the distributor pains. Like obviously too many tools in the workflow, 3 to 5. It can be, your ERP system, industry platform, CRM, homegrown systems. It's a lot to work through, kind of causing the search and the sync to be slow as you're grinding through the data. IT resources, for those small to mid, even large distributors, not having the IT resources at their fingertips to be able to dedicate to a project to kind of get this integrated. And then kind of as the commercial said, order entry mistakes, garbage in equals garbage out, and it just compounds the issue and compounds the number of touches that we have to have for every order. So if you look at, obviously, the better we get the workflow, the more that we get the data flowing, the more sales for distributors and the more sales for suppliers. On the platform side, so some of the platform pains is it's just difficult to integrate PromoStandards with a modern e-commerce platform. You're talking maybe 6+ months to integrate. Looking at legacy APIs, tech, design, some of the documents are hard to understand. And then almost most importantly, the inconsistent data quality, which everybody relies on. So what we're really trying to do, what we're really trying to solve for is to be able to integrate with PromoStandards in 90 seconds or less. Working with your e-commerce sites, platforms, even your ERP, and searching products, refreshing the inventories, and being able to submit POs in literally milliseconds.
All right, you have heard Lisa, but how do we actually do that? It's very easy. We have created 3 technologies, Elements, SDK, and Engine, to make it easy to integrate with your technologies. But let's start with Elements. I'm sure every distributor in this room uses at least one product research tool. It's very convenient, so you can find the products from the suppliers. But the problem is you are switching between software, right? You have one software for product research, the others for e-commerce. How do you tie it together? I'll show you how to do that in just 90 seconds. You can find the right products your end buyers can see, and you can customize the designs however you want. It's easy. you just put in this HTML code, which is our web components with results, and you input in the access tokens, and then bam, you get this embedded product research tool that's usable in every websites and e-commerce platforms. And we provide a JavaScript API where you can use it to your advantage. Let me show you how. In the meantime, you can go to this link and test it out. Let me go to the demos, 1 second. All right. Here's a little demo where we're using this API to make like kind of build a store system where distributors can build the stores. Okay, so I'm gonna make an outdoor store. So first, obviously you can filter by price. So I can only find products that are over 50. I'm using the server in the US, but in Bangkok, so there's quite some latency. Usually it takes less than 30 milliseconds to do a query. But okay, you can filter by everything like brand category and subcategories. So I might want to buy some gel pens and unit bowls. So let me save. And you should be able to get whatever product you need with the criteria you want. All of this is going through our caching server, so the API is lightning fast. All right, let's do a bit more demo. Maybe let's find some writing instruments. And the search here are full text search, and it's being ranked using a relevancy algorithm in Prisma, so it's quite fast. So that's basically how you can use it. You can filter by supplier. Right now, we only have Starline, brand, subcategory, color, and everything else. Okay, back to the demo. As you can see, this isn't really only for product research, because you can tie it up and make it so that distributors can set up stores. You can even have your end buyers add their own products to cart, or link it with maybe a presentation tool. So the possibilities are endless. This works by connecting to our GraphQL caching server, and I'll tell you why that's extremely important. Second solution is our Adaptor SDK. We have so many CRMs and ERP these days, but the problem is the distributors, small and medium ones, they have very small IT teams. So they don't have the time nor the resource to integrate with them. We provide a full set of SDKs that can integrate with all of PromoStandards like product pricing, grading purchase orders. This works securely with both client and server and provides an inline documentation. What you have to do is you create a secure access token. So this will allow you to securely use the system, and you can get the products pricing and inventory. You can search for specific criteria and very securely so. Again, this SDK is basically a wrapper or GraphQL, which connects to our caching server. The nice thing is that people don't really need to know how the API works to use the SDK, because the engine does all the work. So we're at the last part, which is our engine. This is similar to the caching server that we might have seen before, but the interesting thing is that it uses GraphQL. The GraphQL allows you to get exactly the data that you need. This is a unified graph, which I'll show you in a moment. This is also fully cached and refreshed every day. So you get the latest data you need and configurable. You can host this on your own infrastructure, and there's inline documentation. When I find the PromoStandards docs, I see there's 8 services. The problem is if I want to get a product, I need to call get products, get a bunch of IDs, get them individually, and then use the PPC API. What if we don't need to do any of that? We just use one graph and we get everything. This is where GraphQL comes from. When we reduce the number of data we want to request from the API, we make it much faster. GraphQL allows you to get exactly what you need only with a single request, and there's a built-in documentation and a type system. This technology is not new. It's already used by over 3,000 companies. So I know we're running out of time, so it's just a quick demo. So in this sandbox, you can see that we can find all sorts of products here. You can see exactly by hovering over it what products and what fields are available, like subcategories and brands. So This uses Postgres behind the scene with Redis as another caching layer with a full text search system. But you can see every field like products and supplier are actually fully documented. So people want to be asking what this API is actually doing. Of course, you can submit purchase orders. And the nice thing is the documentation, everything is fully provided here. So you can find out exactly what does what without reading a single line of documentation. And the same docs also available on the SDK. So whether you're integrating directly or via an SDK, it's all the same. To wrap up, suppliers does not need to change anything. And this is the neat part of it. We does all the data cleanup. But in the future, if supplier want to implement the GraphQL standard, we provide a set of technologies that they can do. So to wrap up, more integrations helps distributors to help their business. They can scale, they can integrate with CRM and ERPs to get a one view, and they can also improve their end user experience. So that's the adapters. Thank you.
I'm assuming some of the REST to JSON teams would have some beef with your jump right to GraphQL, but we'll open it up here for one question from the judges. So if anybody has a question here, other than obviously your introduction video was pretty cool.
Looks like Wade has his hand up.
All right, Wade, go ahead.
Yeah, really curious on the ERP CRM mentioned there on integration. Can you explain a little bit about how that works?
Sure. So we expose a set of GraphQL mutations, which you can use to submit purchase orders, and also the SDKs. So right now, the main problem with integrating with ERPs is that you have to understand how the whole PromoStandards API works. But with this SDK, it makes it much easier to do webhooks or other standard ERP integrations.
Thank you.
Oh, so my only question is more comment. That's a lot for 6-7 days of hackathon. So is this, how much of this is functional versus the demo? All of it?
Yeah, all of this is actually live data from Starline. So none of this is mocked.
All right. All right. Great job. It's good teamwork there. So Amy, who do we have coming up next?